Y'all have heard or are experiencing all the financial challenges that this country is going through.
Goodness gracious.
But let's talk about how much it's going to affect us in the neighborhood.
Yes, indeed.
Danny on the beat, it's the Naybors podcast with Reese and Mike. They discussing different issues that affect our streets and life. Said it's the Naybors. We the Naybors. Yeah.
Yo.
Yes. Good day.
So, we're talking about how the economy is really going to affect us. Whew. So, here is something that I learned not too long ago. I was wondering why my wife was going to the market and buying doggone near 90 eggs at a time. You know how you get the eggs and they're like in a 30 pack.
Oh yeah,
whatever
with the
else.
eggshell. Right.
So she had gone to a store, I believe it was Price Right. Store called Price Right. And she was getting them almost like $7 a pack.
Wow.
And I'm like, $7? Like, okay, why is that a big deal?
Right.
And then she proceeded to tell me that in certain markets, for a dozen of eggs was almost $12 a pack.
Yeah.
She goes, and now for those of you who don't know, my son, he works in a market.
Right.
And so just because she was pricing everything, she looked at a pack of eggs that was 18 eggs in a carton.
Mm-hmm.
It was $11.
$11. Yes, sir.
And so my question is, Mike, are we going to, at some point, not be able to afford the basic stuff?
It can get there. Especially when our family's on a budget.
Right.
Monthly budget. And that extra, everything going up extra $2 or $3. Now you add that extra $2 and $3 up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Times that by 12.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Right.
Because they said the average household family could spend $830 a year more. Depends on what you get.
Wow. And I'm going to be honest with you. Our monthly food bill, we're averaging about $350 a month. It's about $350. And that's just going to the market.
Right.
That doesn't even include us ordering out.
Right.
So if you think about that for a second, if you're saying we could spend an additional $800 a year,
yeah,
then you're talking we're at $425 maybe, a month just in food.
Just in food, yeah. It depends on the size of your family,
right?
To be honestly.
Now, granted, I have 2 adult children, so
right.
They eat like both of them eat like grown men, and one is a girl,
right?
Like,
right.
So well, and not. Excuse me. She's not eating, in essence, really like a grown man. But what it is, in all honesty, because she's trying to eat more healthy,
right?
So
that could
healthier.
be expensive,
right?
Jeez.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's part of the challenge. So I'm wondering what is it going to be like. Like if you're saying it's going to be that much more by the end of the year,
right?
So what will it be in the next 2 or 3 years?
Exactly.
So I'm reminded of the Sesame Street thing, where the mom sends the little girl to the market, a stick of butter, a loaf of bread.
Stick of butter, contain the milk. Yeah. Yep.
So at this point in time, can we even send our kids to the store to even get that? Can we afford it?
That's the thing. And it's just me. I'm like, come on now, this is ridiculous.
Right.
But you understand, the bird flu going on. They had to kill a lot of chickens, ducks as well, because it spreads like crazy.
Yeah.
It spreads like crazy. But, some people, I'm going to bring the food down on it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I better have a better chance getting hit by a car. But,
I mean, but first of all, I don't understand the killing of all the birds. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, because there's sometimes when you listen to some, I'm gonna be honest, because sometimes I get into this conspiracy theory mentality, right? Like, listen, when we had the wing shortage, like we didn't have a shortage or anything else. Like you would think that it would be a short of a breast at the same time. Because what would the wings attached to?
Well, yeah.
How about legs and thighs? Like, it would be a shortage of that too, right? Like if there was a shortage of wings, shouldn't there be a shortage of everything else?
Well, yeah, but you really think about it, the wings is more popular than the breasts. Yeah. And the legs. Come on. Excuse me, like the around this time, Super Bowl, wing fests and all that.
Right.
And they don't say no ring breasts. I mean, breast fest or,
right.
thigh fest, the wings. That's where they make their money at.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, but it's just funny how certain things are running out.
Right.
Versus others.
Right.
Because you would think that, hey, you know what? That's attached to the same chicken.
Right.
You only, so if the wings are out of stock, shouldn't the legs and thighs be out of stock too? It's 2 and 2.
Yeah, but like I said, which is more popular.
Right.
More popular.
When you look at some of these cooking shows though, I realized that a lot of them use thighs with the meat.
With the meat, right.
I thought it was gonna be, the breast.
Nah.
But no, there's a lot of dark meat being used.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just this economic change or shift that we're going through, because we even, we just finished talking about our hobbies.
Right.
Like it's gonna be a point where our hobbies just gonna be like non-existent,
yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have to chill out for the whole year.
Right.
And man, that's hard, especially with a certain item I want. But see what happened. I should have got it when it was on sale, but it was still kind of high when it was on sale.
Right.
So this particular item has come from Canada.
Wow.
And they had it on sale. It was Anthem AVM 70. That's a processor. Let everybody know it's on there, the processor. 15-channel processor. And it was on sale, last year sometime, $31.99. Now it's back to regular price, $39.99. And who knows?
Right.
Who knows? That could jump to $200 more.
Right.
So
and so now some of y'all probably be like, man, Mike got money.
Mike ain't got no money. Shucks. Please.
Unfortunately, that's why there's called, payment plans and
Bingo.
credit cards and
touchdown.
We understand. And so here's the other part of that as well. So we're talking about finances too, because some of that does come with a premium interest rate.
Yeah, it does.
Some of those things, so
right.
So if you can handle it, that's up to you. That's a personal choice. We're not financial. I'm not a financial advisor.
Likewise, but
I ain't gonna tell you what to do.
But but these days, people using their credit cards more.
Right.
And,
right.
It's called survival.
But here's the thing. This is something that the wife and I just finished talking about. Because we were looking at our credit cards separately.
Uh-huh.
And we're looking at some of the interest rates. And what the fine print was, like it was one number and then it said variable rate in the fine print.
So it means they could change any time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because there was one card that I'm like, I don't understand, like, why does it feel like it's like out of control? I don't even use it. Like I used it and I kind of like, all right, I pay on it once a month, all that type of stuff. But I don't use it. But I'm like, because I don't use it and I'm not paying no attention to it, why is it like I'm not making a dent in the card itself? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that it was that variable rate.
Variable rate.
You know,
right.
so because there was one time the interest rate, like because how you have, your minimum payment that they want you to pay, but they had the minimum payment, and then they had, which I didn't pay attention to. I wasn't paying attention to because I was paying more. I was paying like 2 or 3 times the minimum rate, but the interest rate was about almost twice as much as what the minimum payment was.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if, because there was one thing where it said, your minimum balance, your minimum payment is $75.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Cool. I'll put 150, 200 on there, whatever else. And then I look on the statement again, and it's like, well, the interest amount was $155.
Right.
Like, what the heck?
Right.
So you just wiped out
right
my whole payment.
Pretty much.
So it makes you think like, all right, I'm buying a house because, it's
right.
like interest rate on the house. You got to pay the interest off first before you start paying on the principal.
Right.
So I'm like, so you basically just wiped out everything.
Yep.
And so to your point, if I have to live off of a credit card 100% of the time, how do I do that? How can I survive?
Well, I look at it like this. That amount compared to going out, man, how can I put this? Lord. I might have to get back to you on that one.
I mean, well, like I'm listening to you talk, about going out. Now, Granted, based on your hobby, in all honesty, you don't have to go to the theater.
No.
And for those of you, I wish some of y'all were here with us because our New Year's Eve, at Mike's, it was, funny.
Bad old man.
But we both, now I'm nowhere near where Mike is, but I have a nice little, something for the crib. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Something enough just to say, hey, it's not just a sound bar. Even though there's some sound bars that sound nice.
That sound nice, yeah, they do. They got some nice ones, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but it's not just a regular $40, $50 sound, soundboard system. No, I have, audio receiver, like a little bit more.
Right.
But the reality is that for neither one of us, like, we really put more investment in looking at movies and TV shows at home than going to the theater.
Right.
Where we don't have to worry about paying $120 just for one person walking in.
Man, please. Don't have a family of 4.
I know, right?
Jiminy Crickets.
And that's where the credit card will come in.
Right.
Like, if you want a nice time, oh, shoot. How much I got to spend?
Right.
You get what I mean?
Because you figure the average movie now, what, $16, $17, something like that?
Something like that.
And all your kids over 5, 6, 7, whatever.
Right.
All right, 4 tickets times that, $16 times that by 4. They include the popcorn.
Right.
The nachos, stuff to drink and all to go with it. That can turn to like almost $100 a night for one night.
Yep.
Entertainment.
And now what do you do? What do you do in a situation like that? Especially if you, as I just mentioned, we spend $350 on food every week.
Right.
I mean, every month.
Every month.
That's not every week. Every month.
Holy smokes.
And now, because my children, have jobs and they have their own money, right? We've been asking for them to contribute a little bit here and there. You get what I mean?
Right.
Again, because nothing's free.
Right.
Right. And it's not like we're like, yo, y'all got to pay rent. It's not that. Nowhere near that.
No.
Nowhere near a rent payment at that. Nowhere near really for us to go order food and for y'all to pay that.
Right.
Just barely even that. Because even with that, when we ordered, so my wife was out. I think she was getting her hair done, and our daughter, she was out doing something else. So really, it was up to the son and I to figure out food. And we're like, hey, we're just gonna go and get something real quick.
Okay.
We went to Little Caesars. Little Caesar still ended up being almost $70 because of, again, once again, everyone doesn't eat everything,
Right.
right? Now my son, he did kind of splurge on himself a little bit, you know, whatever. But for us to get really 3 pizzas, and he got these pizza bites or something like that.
Oh, okay.
You know, something like that. And he got 2 orders of that or whatever. So like I said, it was still about $70.
Right.
You know, so you figure Little Caesars, pizza, $5 pizzas was still $70.
Still $70.
You get what I mean? And that's, we only got it because of convenience.
Right.
You know, we had other things that we had going on ourselves. Like, you know, one, I didn't feel like cooking. He definitely wasn't going to cook.
Right.
And we want to make sure that even when the ladies came home,
they had something
to eat.
Right. Right.
Actually, what it was, Janae had school. That's what she was doing. She had class.
Okay.
And then, like I said, my wife was getting her hair done. You know, so we're like, all right, let's just make sure everybody got something to eat. That's something real quick.
Right.
You know, while they run in real quick, they could get a slice.
Right.
When they come back a little later on, they can get a slice. You know, whatever.
It's convenience. Right.
But so imagine if you had to pay $70 2 or 3 times a week, because there's some parents that's like that. They're that busy.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I don't know if someone busy or something could be lazy.
Yeah, some could be lazy.
Lazy can't. I mean, you know, you can't cook.
Right. You're right about
Can't
that.
cook, so
You're right about that.
You know, I don't feel like cooking. No, you can't cook. That's the problem.
You know, but how do we afford that? Again, because we're going a little bit off of just eating out and the movies.
Right.
But how do you afford the eggs when they're $12 for 12 eggs? Like a $1 an egg, is it really like that?
Per se, you might as well
sense.
say, yeah. How about that?
Like it's almost to that point. It's going to be that point.
It's going to be that point, right?
You know, so again, how do you deal with that? And if there, you know, if there's some challenges with what happens to everybody's benefits, right?
Right.
You know, overall, how do we deal with that, especially as a community? And we're talking about this because this is a community issue,
right? Big time, yeah.
You know, and so are we going to go to the store, or are we going to see some of our seniors who can't handle it?
Who can't? Exactly. I mean, what can you do? Let me see. My rent,
right,
or my medication,
right.
It's gonna go back and forth. You definitely can't fall back on your rent.
And some of us can't deal without the medication.
You can't do it. It's like an unbalanced scale,
right?
And that scale is gonna always be unbalanced,
right?
So
yeah. So how do we deal with that? You know, and even with some of the what you would call it, the resources that were relying on some of these federal funds and things like that.
Right.
Some of them are going to get cut.
Right.
You know, so for an example, I had just spoke to this gentleman on the other the show that I do have with my wife, the No Fruit podcast, and we interviewed. I don't know how many of y'all remember the question mark guy. Do y'all know who he is? He's a Caucasian gentleman who used to come on TV, especially in the 80s and 90s, with a dinner jacket that had all these question marks on it, and he was always talking about government free money.
Oh yeah.
You know, and so he gave us a whole bunch of websites, a whole bunch of resources, you know, that gave out information about medications and, you know, if you're trying to start a business called Apex Accelerators,
okay,
or needymeds.org or something like, you know, all these things where, you know, you can get these resources for your medications and for, you know, money or whatever else. How many of them are going to disappear?
Right.
You know, and we're already struggling with kids not having anything to do with themselves.
Right.
So what are they going to do with school sports and stuff?
Right. Schools, everything is costly.
Right.
Everything's going to be costly, but, you know, quote unquote, you know, don't throw that, we understand. No, we don't understand.
Right. Right.
We don't understand. How can an individual speak for us?
Right.
You don't even know us.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
You know? It's irking.
You know, so how many of y'all are even considering looking at your budget?
Right.
You know, because like Mike started off by saying, hey, his hobby might have to suffer.
Yeah. Dead serious. For a whole year.
You know, and so how many of us are really taking a look at that? In all honesty. You know, so when it comes down to, again, we're going to be honest on this show, right? You know, some people's pastimes is alcohol.
Right.
Right? How are you going to be able to afford that?
Exactly.
You know, we're just going to call a spade a spade.
Bingo.
You get what I mean?
Bingo.
You know, so yes, I'm talking about food. You know, Mike is talking about his audio stuff. I mean, I'm in my fat boy stage. Well, I'm not in my fat boy stage. I'm trying to become less of a fat boy. You know, so that's probably why it's on my brain.
Man.
You know, but how do we afford the basic stuff?
Basic stuff, yeah. But they'll be enjoy.
Right.
They'll be enjoy. Now we got to put the enjoyment on a budget.
And we probably could have at some point in time, you know, just to kind of help ourselves out, you know, money in the bank.
Right.
But there are some people, because we already know some of y'all out there probably have gone crazy on your budget. On your budget,
right. I mean, that's expected.
It is. I mean, and no one says that you can't splurge on yourself every now and then.
I always do. My theory is you pay bills every month. You treat yourself like a bill. Treat yourself.
Yeah. You know, so how many of y'all are kind of in this space just like we are? Like, am I going to be able to afford, you know, an egg?
The egg, the most cheapest things. Can you afford it?
Right.
That's the crazy part.
And it's one of the most basic.
The most basics. Yep.
Because if nothing else, I remember as a kid was getting eggs, butter, and milk.
Yeah.
I don't know how they all went together, but I'm gonna be honest with you, like that was good.
You forgot the loaf of bread.
Oh, the loaf of bread, yes.
Loaf of bread now. You can't be eating eggs, butter, and milk, and that's it.
All right. Yes. You know, so how many of you are really in that space?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because bread is expensive by itself.
Man.
I think I saw a loaf of bread the other day for $7.49. I'm like, really?
What kind of bread was that? With the pumpernickel, bucket? I don't need no bread with a bunch of seeds and grind.
No, I think I can't remember what it was, but it was rye bread though.
It had to be one of those special breads, man. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm trying to get away from the white bread, so I was trying to do something brown.
I do wheat.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I want to, you know, dabble into something else real quick.
Oh, you're splurging.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know, because and I agree with you. I mean, we have wheat, yes,
right.
You know, but sometimes you kind of want a little variety, just real quick. Because I really like turkey clubs. I gotta do turkey club on a rye.
Okay, that's understandable.
Yeah,
understandable. I mean, when I get hoagies, I always get my eyes on a wheat roll.
You know, I haven't done a hoagie on a wheat roll.
Yeah,
I might have to.
It's pretty good.
Look into that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so I would probably do Wawa with that. That's the only place I can think about who would have wheat roll. Who? Are stores around the corner from us?
Fork Off Diner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Market. Fork Off Market, excuse me, not Diner. Market. AKA Majors, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You know, so, so how many of y'all look into this? How many of you are looking to your budget? How many of you are paying attention to what's going on? And do you have a plan in place?
You have a plan. That's definitely you have a plan in place. You know what? I think everybody knew there was the ones that knew the ones that sitting back and waiting. We knew we knew what we had to do.
Right. Yeah.
But all that waiting to see what happens now. You can't really do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the crazy part. You know.
Yeah. So, but we thank y'all very much for listening to us today.
Again, you know, have a good day.
And we will talk to you a little later.
Peace.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Naybors podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and felt right at home. If you like what you heard, don't be a stranger. Subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with your friends and fam. Got something on your mind or a topic you'd love to hear us talk about? hit us up. Until next time, remember, we're all just neighbors working together for a better community. Stay safe, stay connected, and we'll catch you in the next one.